Goal today is really to get into that. What does living sacrifice actually mean in this context? We've got the speaker, clearly religious background.
Lots of mentions of God, scripture.
Yeah, and he's talking directly, almost challenging you,
Mm.
asking us to think about how we actually live.
So the mission for you listeners.
Come on in, let's talk about it. Come on in, let's talk about it. Make it make sense.
It's like there's this constant scorecard. How you look, what you have, how things seem online. It's kind of draining.
Totally.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something really, really interesting. It's a transcribed sermon.
Okay.
And it just throws this idea out there, living sacrifice. Sounds intense, right?
It does, yeah. Bit shocking, maybe.
Exactly. But it's not about what you might think, first off. It's trying to get us to shift focus, away from all that surface stuff.
Towards something more internal.
Yeah, more authentic. That's the idea.
Right. So our goal today is really to get into that. What does living sacrifice actually mean in this context? We've got the speaker, clearly religious background.
Lots of mentions of God, scripture.
Yeah, and he's talking directly, almost challenging you,
Mm.
asking us to think about how we actually live.
So the mission for you listening is figuring out how this idea might actually apply practically to deal with those pressures we were just talking about.
Can it give us some real tools, basically?
Okay, so that phrase, living sacrifice, it hits you, doesn't it?
It really does.
And the speaker knows that. He actually calls it out right away. He talks about how, for his original audience, sacrifice meant, well, animal sacrifice, ending a life, offering it.
Which is a pretty stark image.
Very. But then he immediately pivots. He's like, hold on, that's not what I mean.
Okay, so not physical self-harm or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. It's more like a daily thing, ongoing process of letting go.
Letting go of parts of yourself, like dying to certain things each day.
Exactly. A kind of metaphorical dying, not a one-time big event.
So what kinds of things are we talking about dying to?
Well, he gets pretty specific, actually. It's not vague. He lists things like selfishness, holding grudges,
Okay.
being stingy, gossiping, sexual sin, he mentions that, lust, chasing after fame or influence.
Wow, okay. That's quite concrete.
Yeah, and even being overly impressed by, like, titles or status, the whole Insta-sham thing, as he puts it.
Right, the curated perfection we see online. So it's about these internal drives and maybe external temptations.
I think so. The things that pull us off track, maybe.
Yeah.
Away from, well, whatever we consider a better path.
And why do this? What's the motivation he gives? Is it about earning something?
That's what's interesting. He says it's not about getting blessings or rewards. It's framed as a response.
A response to what?
If you are enjoying our content, please subscribe, like, and share. Your support is appreciated.
He mentions 11 chapters of everything I've done for you. So in his context, it's clearly faith-based, a response to God's actions.
Okay, tied to scripture.
Yeah, but you can maybe see a broader principle there, right? Acting out of a deep conviction, not just for what you get out of it, letting something foundational guide you.
That makes sense. So it's less transactional.
Right. It's more about alignment with that core belief.
Okay. So if you're doing that, what are you not doing?
Ah, good transition.
Yeah.
That leads to his next big point, not being conformed to this world.
The world. What does he mean by world here? The
Yeah.
planet.
No, he clarifies that. It's not the earth. It's more like
Yeah.
the spirit of the age.
Yeah.
The dominant values and trends floating around.
The cultural atmosphere, sort of?
Yeah, exactly. The stuff that pushes us around without us even noticing sometimes.
And does he give examples of that conformity?
Oh, yeah. Things like vanity, always needing more stuff, materialism, greed,
Uh-huh.
and the big one, comparison.
Yeah.
Constantly measuring ourselves against others.
Yeah.
Our marriages, jobs, ministries, whatever. That feeling of never quite stacking up.
Which social media just pours gasoline on, right?
Totally. So why resist? What's the point of trying not to conform? It's hard work.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, he argues it's about distinctiveness. If
Yeah.
you just blend in, what difference are you showing? He even mentions like unbelieving family members. If they see something genuinely different in how you live, that can be powerful. It reflects different ideals.
Okay, so it's about offering an alternative, in a way.
Yeah. But then he adds a crucial layer. Just saying no to worldly stuff isn't enough.
Right, that's just external.
Exactly. He says the real transformation comes from the renewal of your mind.
The mind.
Ah.
So thoughts, beliefs, emotion.
Very much. He suggests that even if someone has a fundamental shift, like what he calls salvation, the seat of your will and feelings still needs ongoing work, reshaping.
Like we have all these ingrained ways of thinking, maybe
Lovely.
incorrect ones.
Uh-huh. And this renewal process is about actively challenging those and aligning your thinking with the different standard. His standard is clearly divine teaching, scripture.
So it's like reprogramming your internal software.
Kinda, yeah. Less like a quick update, more like a deep, ongoing rewrite. It takes effort.
And he uses that word metamorphosis, right? From the Greek for transform.
Yeah, that's a powerful image, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's meant to be a deep, permanent change, not just putting on a different coat.
And the evidence. How do you know it's happening?
He says it shows up as maturity, just
Yeah.
growing up, handling things better, showing that inner change in how you react to life.
Which brings us to the really practical stuff. And this is where he gets quite personal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he shares that story about being in traffic.
Right. Getting angry, wanting revenge. It's so relatable.
It really is. And him admitting that, even as someone teaching this, he struggles. That makes it feel achievable, or at least the struggle feels normal.
Yeah, it shows it's not about instant perfection. It's messy. It's a process. This dying daily thing is ongoing. Lots of stumbles.
For sure. And that leads him to redefine worship.
Ah, right.
Uh,
Not just singing songs or listening to talks.
Nope. He argues real worship is woven into your everyday life, how you act at your job, how you react when someone cuts you off in traffic.
How you handle being insulted or wronged.
Exactly. He gives those examples, not lashing back out, trying not to lean on the horn, but maybe like praying instead.
Even though he admits he doesn't always manage it.
Right. Which, again, makes it real. It's the effort, the intention, maybe.
And the message seems to be, just start where you are. He says, just give me you. Imperfections included.
Yeah, offer yourself as you are. That's the beginning point for this transformation. You don't have to be fixed first.
And what happens if you do this? If you embrace this kind of sacrifice?
He talks about purification, pruning, like cutting away dead branches so healthy stuff can grow. Blessing, maturing.
Even being broken in ways that lead to something better.
Yeah, brokenness that leads to purpose. It's about refinement, really, not about being crushed.
Okay. So, wrapping this up for someone listening, the main thing isn't about, like, performing religion perfectly on the outside.
Not at all. It's about that constant internal work. Becoming more aware of how we just automatically soak up the negative stuff around us.
The conformity.
Yeah. And then consciously choosing a different path internally first.
So it really makes you think, doesn't it? Where in my own life am I just going with the flow, maybe in a way that doesn't sit right with my deeper values?
Exactly. And where could letting go of something, some habit, some desire, some reaction, actually help me grow? That dying daily idea applied personally.
Okay, so let's boil it down. The big insight here. Real growth, real impact. It doesn't come from chasing likes or approval or looking perfect.
Nope. It comes from that quiet, consistent internal work. Refining yourself, resisting those negative cultural currents.
Choosing substance over surface.
Right. So here's a final thought to chew on as you go about your day. With all the noise and influence out there, what's maybe one worldly value, just one thing, big or small, that you could consciously decide to sacrifice today? Not in a dramatic way, maybe, but just intentionally letting it go a bit to cultivate something deeper inside, like more strength or more authenticity.
That's a good question to sit with, something to think about beyond just this deep dive.
Thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Have a great day.